So a couple people on the site were saying, hey, I don't have any new material. So here's some new material. Expect to get a following. I guess I need to put more material out. Right now, I'm building another chandelier, kind of like the one that's over my pond, but for where I'm sitting. Tie it to a tree, and I'm gonna put it on a timer so it comes on at night with my other lights. And yeah, comes on with my other lights. And love somebody's base.
Do-do-do. Doodle-doodle-doodle-doodle-doo.
Anyways.
That's next door.
No, that's in the alley.
Oh, okay.
So, speaking of the alley, we've had a few thefts in our nice little alley going on. So, that's one of the reasons why I'm making this light. Is so we can stop that crap.
Right.
So we got this light for basically $2 at a garage sale yesterday, which I thought was kind of cool. Some nice old couple.
Yeah. They were cute.
They were pretty cool. And I told them that I was just going to turn it back into what it was, except for outside. They thought that was pretty interesting.
What are you doing right now with it?
Right now I'm just taking the old wires out and taking, well, I'm wearing most of it, but taking the
Dust.
and goo off of it. Now, usually I'd keep this part and install it with it, but I have roughly about 14-15 feet above my head to attach it, so I don't need the chain. So I'm going to get rid of that. I do need a grounding port, which is this wire right here, but I can cut it shorter. The chain is copper, so I can bend it pretty easy with my hands. Pretty easy. And then this part goes to that part, but I have to take my wires, white and black, funnel it through here.
What about that green wire?
Green wire is a ground, and
Okay.
it attaches right to here.
Oh, okay.
There's a little metal.
And how do you know the differences?
Just kind of standard.
Is it?
Yeah. This light lamp is pretty old. Has some old wiring, but you can see it, that white and black. Sometimes you'll see, depending on where the wire comes from or where the piece was made, you'll see instead of green, you'll see a blue, sometimes red, sometimes orange. Usually that means it's being made in Malaysia or something like that.
Malaysia? China?
China. Because that's their color combination. But it's becoming more and more universal.
Right.
The world grows. I was using electrical pliers to do all this, but found out that these surgical scissors work a lot better.
Oh, I hate that word.
What, surgical?
Yeah. I don't ever want to hear that word again.
So I'm just about done. I gotta kind of hide a little bit of this, pull it tight, take it apart, like so. That other half already has the wires and caps already put together. All I have to do is put white with white. Just black. And then my junction box for all of this is over there underneath an old cigar box. Shipping cigar box that someone converted. It wasn't me. For a while I had a chess set in there. I built a bigger chess set. So bigger and heavier. I have a bronze and iron and aluminum set. Can you hand me that? It looks like an acorn next to your posterior. You almost hit it with your hand. This actually holds the whole thing together. Alright. So that part's done. Now I could make it super ornate. I have extra pieces that I could extend this and make it crazy ornate. But in all honesty, this is just an extra light out here. And I don't have to have it on all the time. But it adds extra security
And
to my house.
and it'll look pretty.
Yeah,
And it'll look cool. And unique. Because that's the beautiful thing about creation. Is
So
you can
I
create.
haven't quite decided what my next project, especially this summer, is going to be, because I have a ton of projects that I'm doing for people.
And yourself.
And myself. I would like to get a few things running, like I have a motorized trike over in the corner, and I think I put a video out. I think that was my first video.
Yeah. Which we still haven't motorized yet, because funds. So.
It's already motorized.
It is?
Yeah.
It's starting already? You started it? You have a motor on it?
I started it, and I would like to try to do an electric.
Yeah.
So I collected all the pieces out of a treadmill. It has this awesome motor. I don't remember exactly how many horses it is, or what part of a horse it is. But I have enough solar power that I could keep a motor, 2 batteries at least charged. I could park it in the sun, is the idea. And then I'd like to do some mining equipment that runs off of solar, which will be interesting. I haven't quite worked out all the details yet, and I'm not really much of a electrical engineer. I really don't know how all that stuff works. I can wire stuff up, but to be honest, putting a switch in or all that's kind of foreign to me. I have watched a few videos on how to do it, but I haven't got that far yet. to actually doing it. I'm going to put some nice bulbs in this. The next step is I'm going to grab my 16-foot ladder, a little aluminum. We'll go right to that branch right there. And we'll hoist this up. Probably put new bulbs in, or at least test these bulbs out, which I can do right now. And turn off the pond pump. Woo! Those are bright.
Those are bright.
Awesome. I don't know if you can see me. I don't know if you see me at all or what the deal is. I don't even know if it's still on. But the light works really well. I have all this glass that I might put on there. We might even paint them. Use some watercolors, so when it's on, it's more than just bright light. But anyways, so that's a project for today. It's just this light. I do need another one of these weird candle light fixtures.
Do we have another bulb that looks like a candle light?
Maybe
In the
hallway
That's what I was looking for.
by Joe's room.
Okay, I'll be right
Is that
back.
thing even still on?
It's still on.
Oh. Okay, so I wasn't talking to myself.
He's not talking to himself.
Good. I don't know. Alright. Well, since I finished that, we'll look around the yard. Last time I did make a video, but I don't think it was ever published. I've putting up this fence. Not kind of like the old school rustic look, but my mom does not, so she wants me to paint the whole fence, and we will. I have a lot of plants growing. They're just pretty much just popping up right now. This is my trick to grow peas, give them something to climb. Let's see what else. Oh, want to see something really cool? I've trained my fish. You can almost hand feed them. All right. You know that the homie knock. See them all come up to the surface? So that's the homie knock. And then I'm going to put a good amount. And usually they're not scared. They'll just come right on up. Start seeing the fish just go crazy.
Okay. Alrighty. Uh-oh. Are you showing them the fishies?
Yeah. So this is the fishies. I just turned the pond off to test that light, so water's not really moving.
And it's murky because we're waiting on filters.
And it's murky. We're waiting on filters and a 1.5 inch to hose. What do you call it? Part. So I can start watering my garden with the fish emulsion that's coming out of here.
Yeah. Which is really good for your gardens.
Which is really good for the garden. You'll see that we have these koi. We have yellow-faced koi. When they come up to the surface, they're awesome.
They're
And then these.
what was the name? It was kahawak.
And then the white ones with the white body and the red little spackling on them.
Kahawaki?
Kahawaki or something like that. Koi. And they're pretty cool.
What the Japanese flag is based after. It's that fish head.
Yeah.
Fish head.
Which is interesting. I did try to do a floating garden, which is this over here. It's starting to work out. I should have put more plants in it, but it was just a tester and I didn't want to kill off a whole bunch of plants. That's basil and
Uh, uh, rosemary, thyme.
something like that. Anyways, oh, the big fish is up.
Oh, let's see if I can't get him.
I was hand feeding it yesterday.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, he knows you best, or she, depending on what it is.
Right.
And I come and they go away.
It's a good sized fish.
And that
So
one
I
right there
got
that you see, that one might be pregnant, I think. So we'll have fry. And for those of you at home who watch this, fry is the term for baby fishies. Fry. Isn't that funny?
Right.
And a flock of ravens is called a murder.
Yep.
Which is weirdly cool, I think.
Yeah. I have some friends that live out in the desert and they live off of Murderous Lane.
Because of the... Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. And it's actually
You
an
you
actual
guys
street.
met them, actually. That was Tony.
Tony.
Carlene. You didn't meet Carlene. They didn't... We didn't...
They didn't meet Carlene.
No, they met Tony, though.
Carlene's super private.
She is. She doesn't like it being filmed, which is
Doesn't
okay.
like being filmed, which is okay.
Yeah.
Speaking of Tony and Carlene, this is something that we'd like to do out there. You see how the ground's dug down? So the reason why the ground is dug down is because where I'm standing right now, I have a ton of shade. And between me and the upper ground is about, I'd say about 10 to 15 degrees difference. It is much cooler where I'm standing.
Oh,
right
yeah. So much cooler right here.
now. And out there, it's probably about...
It's almost 90 degrees out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the idea behind these little dugouts. I think the Spanish started it first, and the Pueblo Indians did this as well. They made kivas and little houses underground to be much cooler
Yeah.
and above ground.
Which someday we will take you all to Pueblo. Or is it Pueblo?
Pueblo. Yeah.
Are you sure it wasn't Cortez? Or outside of Cortez?
Yeah, Pueblo.
Colorado?
It's Pueblo.
Pueblo.
And they've made a bunch of new discoveries down there because of the wildfires that went through there.
Yeah.
So they made a whole bunch. They found Temple of the Sun, which they had before, but they didn't realize how big the complex was. And then Temple of the Moon over there, which is really interesting. I mean, the spruce house or the long house, everybody's seen that.
Yeah.
There's pictures of it everywhere.
Everywhere.
But to have new excavation and finding all of the artifacts that are coming out of there, I think that's really neat.
Yeah.
It's part of our history, you know.
Yeah.
Not
Oh,
white people
definitely.
history for sure, but ancient Indians that
For
lived
sure,
here.
sure. That we decided to take away their indigenous
Right.
culture
Right?
and stuff, which
Right.
is bulk pucky, but it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Now we should rectify it.
Right?
Yeah, we
Come back
should.
their land?
Yeah,
No.
as much as we can. I mean,
No.
I'm
they
not leaving this land. I was born
They
here,
should have
but
free rights to our barren lands.
our barren,
Well, not really barren, but just with no people on it.
right?
You know?
Like the national forests that we collected,
Yeah.
that they used to hunt on.
Right. They
Yeah.
should have free rights to go out there and actually do hunting.
Yeah,
Because they're not like us Americans, us white folks.
that are jerkheads or jerks.
That go and slaughter off, you know, whole populations of animals
And people.
and people.
Look at Fishy. That one right there might be pregnant. I feel like she is. I feel like we're gonna have a whole bunch of fry this summer.
Right?
Oh! Did you guys see that one? That was the big guy. He flopped out. He jumped.
Yeah.
Hi.
They're happy.
They are.
Unfortunately, my water's getting super murky.
Well, That
But
will be rectified Wednesday. We got filters coming in finally.
this corner right here, you see this white little piece of PVC wraps around and will water all of those plants.
Which would be good.
So what I need is an 1.5-inch coupler that goes to a garden hose, the male side of a garden hose.
Oh,
And as soon as that happens, I already have another pump in here. And it's ready to pump. It's a dredge pump that has a cage around it so it doesn't hurt my fish and is firmly pretty attached to the ground. So it'll pull all of the fish emulsion and water all the plants. I'm going to put it on a timer as well, just like my lights. They're on timers so that they will turn on at night or just for a couple hours at night when we have, well, thieves that like to hop my fence.
yeah.
Now some people aren't going to like this, and they're probably going to give me heck for it, but
Bring on the controversy.
bring on the controversy. Growing up in Alaska, to keep your buildings from getting destroyed by bear, they made what they call bear ground. I've had so much thievery, that I've actually had to do it to protect this yard.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of people are going to be like, well,
That's not right.
that's not right. Well,
We already checked with police, and the police said that our property line has been moved back. So even if they come to touch the fence, that's trespassing. And we have trespassing signs. We have video. You're on candid camera and all that, and it says, don't come near our house. So the police said if they do decide to jump this fence, that's on them, and that's their fault. So we did ask. We did find out.
Yeah. So this fence is 8 feet into my property.
Yeah. So you literally have to
You have to actually
cross the property line.
Cross the
Like
property.
8 feet.
8 feet into my yard. Hop my fence. Please hop my fence. If you're going to steal something from me, please hop my fence. I would love to see that on video.
I'll record it for you guys too. For a second. We'll post that drama like no other.
So, what was it, last year? Year before?
It was
that?
last summer.
Last
They
summer.
stole.
Last summer they stole a bike that me and my brothers have been working on for the last 20 years. It was a Whizzer that was converted into a trike. What I learned from that experience is the insurance that I had on it was definitely inadequate. And that even though I made a claim, in the end, that Whizzer, and I'm not going to throw out insurance companies, maybe later in a different video, that the things that were stolen that cost me a huge amount of money to collect became worth nothing.
Yep.
They're only worth something to me. I mean, you can't find a Whizzer motor for less than $5,000. And you can't find a Hurley's 3-speed shifter for less than, I don't know, probably about $400 or $500 last time I looked. But all these parts made this bike, and when it got stolen, the people that stole it didn't know what they were stealing.
No.
And I got none of that back.
Yeah.
They said I could go buy parts and that they would reimburse me for parts, but my deductible, basically I broke even. And they weren't going to pay to have that motor, you know, the actual motor and stuff that I needed to put that bike back together. So I learned a valuable lesson when it comes to insurance. One, it's not really worth having. Because when you make an insurance claim, they don't help you out.
No, they don't want to. That's
No.
not their
No.
job is to collect your money, not give it back.
Right. Not get a loss on their part.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Lesson learned.
Lesson learned.
And that is why we have Bear Ground.
That's why I have Bear Ground.
Because, you know what? If you're going to steal, you're going to pay. Karma is a bee.
Alright. So, this right here was an art project that I was doing at the school.
It's prettier at night.
It is way prettier at night. It has a control for the
It has lights.
lights in it. I'm
The
getting
lights
ready.
are, some lights are lit.
Some lights you can see. It has this kind of cool, almost lava-ish kind of look at night. I'm going to cut all these off, and then I have 1/2 inch water line that's going to come up through the backside so you don't see it, and it's going to be a waterfall.
It's going to be
Right
pretty.
now I'm in the process of making it so this wood doesn't rot, doesn't rot. So I'm spraying it with a rubberizer and
Flex seal.
yeah, that's a white one I found that doesn't have anything in it.
Blow it up at
This
Tony's.
one's almost finished. This is going to my a friend of mine. Her name is Marge, and we built her a koi pond last year. Was it
Yeah,
last year?
it was last summer.
Last summer, and learned a lot with her koi pond. It's so much in the sun that the water is getting warm, and it's too warm for the fish. So I have some material that we're going to make a little shade, and this will be the waterfall in the background. Right now we have rocks stacked up, and it's pretty, and it makes a lot of the waterfall noises, but I want something a little bit signature for her. So that one, it's almost done. I have filler. I'm going to use some plaster of Paris on the inside. That's my crazy cat.
What are you doing?
She was hunting fish yesterday.
Oh, no, you better stay out of that pond. I'll
Yeah,
push you
she
in.
couldn't get to him. She was frustrated. She kept whining right there. I'm gonna unplug this because no point in having lights on during the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. As usual, lots of projects, lots of ideas.
And if you have anything you want to see, just let us know. These seeds are crazy. Hate them. Elm seeds go everywhere.
Yeah. Oh, your mammoth is starting to pop.
It's not very mammoth.
Right.
They lied to me.
It'll get bigger.
And there's the sun.
Oh.
That's Josiah.
Mojo Jojo.
Mojo Jojo is what Ben calls him. That's his sneaky name. It's hot! Hot on my butt!
Yep, that's a dark chair.
That's why you wear jeans.